Hey everyone, welcome back to more Dead Rising. As you can see, it's been a little bit since I've recorded last. My hair is a bit longer. Whoa, it's quite a bit longer. And I'm trying to remember what we're doing. When time comes, the Royal Flush rooftop should be a great place to capture all the action. Okay, so we basically have time to adventure and be an idiot. Which I'm okay with. I figure we're getting close to the end of the game. So, I knew roughly where we were, but to find details, it's been about 2 weeks since I've last recorded. So, ooh. Wow, he just exploded into giblets. That was just his leg, too. That's impressive. Anything I want to talk about right now? Well, I'm going to date this episode, but last night I just found out they're going to remake the StarCraft Brood War. Well, like StarCraft 1. It's getting a remastered, StarCraft Remastered. Looking forward to that. However, if you guys are watching this video, you might not necessarily be into StarCraft, which is fine. I mean, there will probably be StarCraft Remastered on my channel when it comes out. It comes out this summer. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm spinning around using Lariat right now. The plan is still for Dead Space. You might be watching this and saying, hey, how come this guy's uploading other stuff on this channel? Say, I don't know if it'll be on yet, but there might be some Castlevania Area of Sorrow or like the Mega Man Battle Network. You may be asking, well, what the heck? Like, I thought Dead Space was next. Dead Space is after this. What ends up happening for those other games is that sometimes I'm just, I'm not doing much for the evening, and someone's like, asks me, hey, do you want to stream? I'm like, okay, so I'll stream like one of those games. And that's also part of the reason why like they don't get done either. Is I'll stream them and I'll say, oh, I had fun, and then I'll go do something else. I feel like we spent a lot of time in the casino, so I don't think I should stay here. Oh. That's just the Zombrex. Dealer vision. Don't need that. Pistols. Nah. Sure, we'll actually grab a pistol. Pistols are fun in this game. I don't think the handgun is necessarily a great weapon. Oh, what the heck? I thought I should... Whoa! Okay, we got him. Not the best weapon, but it is fun to use. If I was going for best weapon, I don't know if there would be a best weapon in this game. There's some weapons that are very good, but I believe that they're situational to an extent. Alright. Part of the reason why I'm not... As far as functionality goes, why I don't think the handgun's the best is that you really do need to get headshots for it to be effective. Because the stopping power by shooting zombies just in the torso just isn't great. So we basically just need to make sure we're back by the helipad when time runs out. But that being said, I think we can get some cool places in the meantime. How much time? Man, I haven't recorded Dead Rising for quite some time. Because what happened was last week I ended up recording about 14 days worth. So I did like an episode a day. So was that 14 episodes? Maybe not quite, but I had a bunch of episodes ready. I was like, sweet, we'll just, you know, use this. But I don't know if you guys really care about my upload schedule. You're here watching the video now, and that's what's important, right? It's episode 30. I would actually like to do, if someone came from the heels of episode 29 to episode 30, to record how much... Well, not record. That sounds like a very daunting task. Make note of, like, how much longer my hair is. Like, I want to know how much the human, you know, head of hair can grow in 2 weeks. Because it's been roughly about the time it has allowed since I've last recorded. And the reason why I'm talking about my hair so much, as you might be wondering, is I'm like due for a haircut. This is about as long as I like my hair. Oh, it's actually at the point where I would consider it too long when I need to get a haircut, because it's hard for me to style it without gel. That's probably the big conditional. I mean, I still can style it, but I'm very minimalist when it comes to taking care of my hair, which it's just matter of preference. I think most guys my age can relate to not wanting to put a lot of work into your hair. And I'm not saying like I let the fleas get into it and stuff. I still like take care of my hair. I still like to put product in my hair. Like I'll do shampoo and conditioner, but I don't do gel or anything else. But because I do that, or rather because I don't do that, it definitely hits a point where my hair becomes like unmanageable. And part of the reason why I don't put product in my hair is because I just end up biking a lot. So if I put some gel in my hair and then I go biking, the gel really doesn't do much because A, you can't, you know, see my beautiful hair when it's all gelled up because there's a helmet on there, and two, like it just pushes against my head and it's uncomfortable. This thing is a very, very interesting vehicle. I'm not against putting product in your hair, but I'm definitely minimalist. So with that said, I need to get a haircut, and I usually go for, I do usually one haircut every like 3-4 months, which is much less than your average person. Like I suspect what will happen is I'll get a haircut, then, I mean if you're watching and if you care, 2 big conditionals right there. You'll notice my hair be quite a bit shorter than it is, and then it just slowly grows out over the course of the, well, course of the days, really. I know over the summer, I like to keep it short, because the summer gets hot out. See, there's a little bit of like thought process that goes behind my hair, but again, I think most people get their haircut once every 2 months, or like once every 6 weeks. There we go, we're out. And I am definitely not one of those people. I mean, yes, I have to, you know, put up with looking more like a barbarian, but I do save money by getting my haircut less frequently. But then you might say, well, is that worth the cost? And again, it's all a matter of preference. I'm not a hairstylist, or I'm not in the fashion industry at all. I was at a wedding this weekend, and I was staying in the hotel room, and I was looking at some of the magazines, and there's some fashion designers who wrote some articles for the magazine. And it really just hit me then that I have very little idea how the fashion industry works. For example, I guess is what I'm saying is I'd be way out of my depth trying to do analysis on the fashion industry because I have no formal education on, you know, fashion, which I don't think you need formal education to be good at anything. So, for example, that might sound like I'm just saying, oh, you don't need a formal education to be good at fashion. More what I was trying to get is that you can still have mathematicians who are good at math, but never received a formal education. That said, I think a formal education definitely helps towards knowledge and mastery over a skill, but I think it ultimately comes down to experience, and a formal education is a way that helps you get experience. But that said, I don't have formal education on the fashion industry, and moreover, I just told you how minimalist I am with my hair. If there was someone, or if you're in the fashion industry and you're watching this video, please leave a comment below and, you know, give me your opinion. Oh, what is this building? Don't think I want that. What's up here? Crowbar. But given how he's talking about, oh yeah, I don't cut my hair very often, you can tell that's definitely not the industry that I'm in. Whereas, if I was a fashion designer, I think I'd be talking much differently about my hair and whatever else have you. Or, for example, fashion trends. You might ask me, what's the fashion trend right now? I literally couldn't tell you. I would just say, I don't know. Whereas, those people who wrote articles in the magazine I was reading, they were just saying, like, yeah, this is fashionable and this is trendy. And part of my disconnect from the fashion industry is I view things as subjective, or to iterate on that, I don't think objectivity exists. Like, I think everything's subjective. And so, but for some people, that's, how do I want to say this? For us, not for some people, but for some things that's more inherent than for others. Is there another 6 shooter? No, there isn't. I guess we'll start heading back. So we will get the arrow. Okay, that's not even ready yet. Oh, shoot. How do we get back? Ah, there you go. Thank you. So for things like science, or we'll just go with science and say like the laws of physics, people are less likely to say, well, that's your opinion, because human society generally accepts, say, Newton's laws of gravity as just fact, or that gravity is a thing that exists. Most people don't say, well, it's a matter of, you know, opinion or like subjective, like what you experience. Like, I would actually be that person that says, well, we perceive gravity to exist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it does exist. But that's a whole different can of worms. So, okay, so laws of science we just take, you know, for granted that they do exist. Whereas for fashion, I think there's more wiggle room to say, oh, I think that looks good on you, or, oh, I don't think that does. For example, let's just say you get a mushroom haircut. Some people might say, oh, that looks good, or hey, that looks bad. Like, I think for things like fashion, it's easier to accept the idea that there is no right or wrong. However, you might be saying, well, are you just saying that you don't think fashion analysts should exist? No, not at all. I think for the fashion analysts, they're saying, here's what society as a whole finds to be trendy. And going more on my point, even though I might not think something is fashion or trendy, society as a whole might say, oh, that looks good. So, for example, like maybe fedoras look really good. Oh, can we even get in there? Is that the Royal Flush Plaza rooftop? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So we can bum around here then. This is great. And having someone saying, oh, that's what society deems as appropriate can be beneficial. Like, that's... I think the same argument applies for, say, something like a lawyer or something. For example, I might personally believe, oh, it's okay to ignore speed limits. That's just fine. What time? Oh, we should almost end the episode. It's fine to end the... Sorry, not end the... ignore the speed limit. I might say that's a personal law, but then we have lawyers saying, well, no, according to society, you have to follow these laws or suffer the consequences. Let's do it. Zalbrex. Neat. Can we eat this hot dog? We can probably eat this hot dog. Same thing with the fashion designer and say, well, this is trendy, so if you look, you know, trendy, more people may view you favorably than, say, if you walk into the store wearing a garbage bag. So, to recap, if you're in the fashion industry, hopefully I didn't offend anyone. And hopefully this was, you know, taken as, like, my argument for why we can have, you know, fashion analysts. But again, like, it's not something that I would ever be into. But I think, you know, if you flip-flop the situation, a fashion analyst, while they might be really good with like fashion sense, if you talk to them about, hey, like, rules of logic and, like, pure mathematics, they might not have as firm as a grasp of understandings as, say, maybe I do, but that makes sense. Because, well, they probably wouldn't study fashion. I studied mathematics, so it would make sense that I might have a better understanding. And I'm not saying because I, you know, studied mathematics that I have a better understanding than fashion analysts about mathematics. I'm saying I think there's a higher chance of me having that understanding. But just because I have the formal education doesn't necessarily mean that I'm good at mathematics. And that relates to what I was saying before, that just because someone, oh dear, has a formal education doesn't necessarily mean that they're an informed opinion of their area of study. Like, you can have some... So, for example, we could have the hair analysts who... Oh, dear. Leave me alone, zombies. The hair analysts... Not hair analysts. Fashion analysts who, in their free time, spends a lot of time just reading philosophy, and they might just be very well versed in philosophy for that reason. Oh, dear. These zombies. Come on, man. Alright, well, I'm spinning around in circles for a little bit, so I'm going to pause the episode here, and I'll see you guys next time.